All right, so you're a brand new agent and the listing opportunities for single family homes just haven't fallen in your lap yet, but you're doing the hustling required in order to get to that $1 million listing. What do? You have a client that's interested in a rental. You decide you want to go ahead and get your feet wet and learn what you need to learn on the renter side of things before you're ready to tackle that multi-million-dollar property. Your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor got you covered in this quick training video where I show you how to build a listing agreement bundle, all of the documents that you'll need. Of course, I'm going to provide all of the form numbers in the description of this video, so just circle back with it. You may want to watch this slowly because, as I mentioned, I'm going to go pretty quickly on this particular video because I got to jump to a Zoom call in a few minutes, but I wanted to be sure to provide you as my family with the resources you need in a pinch. We're going to start, as always, the MLS website specific for Georgia. This is a Georgia training video. So if you are a Georgia real estate agent, then you're going to find your way, however you do it, to remine.com, R-E-M-I-N-E. But usually you're going to want to go through your MLS website's Remine because that's where you'll have immediate access. All right, so if you can see my screen, I am already there. And all you got to do, and you can access it again through FMLS if you're an Atlanta, Georgia agent, or GAMLS. But if you're in some other part of Georgia, just go to your MLS website and they should have a way to connect to Remine through here. So all you'll do is you will click on Remine Docs and then create a transaction. If it's a lease, because of course this is a rental. So what we're doing is a lease listing agreement. So you'll click lease and then you'll click that you represent the listing side. Now, if you represent the buy side, then you'll click there. And if I have time, I'll cover both in this video. But if you're doing a listing, then you'll click listing side. The next step, you'll title this, I don't know, listing for Jane Doe. And then you'll plug in the address and that should generate here for that particular rental. You'll put the information here that's relevant to your particular client. If it's the landlord, of course, that would be the owner of the property. If it's a management company or whatever the case is. But for this particular video, we're just going to assume the landlord is going to be the individual that owns the property. All right, so once you've completed what's relevant, you just click continue. And then it's going to bring you here to forms. So I'm a big fan of utilizing form numbers. That's how you find the most up-to-date forms as quickly as possible. So the first form number that we're going to use for a lease listing agreement is going to be form F122. So that is going to be the exclusive leasing listing agreement. Try saying that 5 times fast. It may also be F125. Okay. The non-exclusive leasing listing agreement, but I'm going to assume that you have an exclusive arrangement with this particular person. So we're going to go with this particular form. So once you've clicked on that, you'll just add it to the bundle below. The next form you're going to need is you're going to need the legal description of the property. So that would be form 807, legal description exhibit. So you'll click there. And then you'll need to, of course, fill that out with the legal description of the property, which you can find on your local county tax records for that address. All right, so the next forms that you're going to need is not going to be a specific form that you will add to the bundle. You'll just simply find the address on the FMLS website, and then you will print out the FMLS breakdown of the property. So all you're doing is literally searching the address on the MLS website. Once you find it, you're just going to do an FMLS printout that you can find internally. I'm not going to do that for this particular video, but just know that you need to add that, as well as if your particular city has multiple MLSs, then you'll need to get a printout of that property from both MLS, if you're in Atlanta, of course, FMLS, and then GAMLS. That's where you're going to go to both websites, search the address, and just download the information on the property because you're going to need both. If for whatever reason your listing gets terminated, then you will need to also add the termination form as well. So now, once we've added the 2 most important forms here, again, it's going to be lease listing number F122 and then F807 plus the GAMLS printout of the property and the FMLS printout of the property. along with a termination letter. If your client decides to terminate, that's all you need. Okay. All right. So going to the listing here, all you need to do is to go into each individual listing. You'll plug in. It's very self-explanatory here. The listing is going to be, today's date, and then you will put your landlords information here, and you just go through this and complete it as necessary, depending on whatever the monthly rental amount is agreed upon that you are going to market the property for, whatever commission is going to be. Again, if it's a set dollar amount or a percentage, you'll plug all this information here. And then once you have completed, you'll go down to section E and just indicate where you're going to list this property. In this case, if you're, again, in Atlanta or around Atlanta, it's going to be both FMLS and GAMLS that you have to market this property. You cannot market on one place and not market on the other, because you're going to get in big trouble if you do that. And then again, you'll just complete all this information here, whatever is relevant, you'll complete it. And you'll go through all of the documents here. If there's any additional brochures you need to add to this particular listing agreement, then if it's lead-based paint, of course, that's if the property was built before 1978, I believe. You'll check that. Any other brochures that you need to provide. These are the form numbers, so you'll just go back to your form section. The fast way to do it is by going through here, clicking that form number, form plus symbol, and then you just enter in the code here, CB01, if that's what you're wanting to add, or whatever, again, brochures you want to throw into this. And then if there's any special stipulations, you'll plug that in here, and then you will plug in your owner's information, name, address, telephone number, email address. You can plug all that information here, and then you'll go to the legal description exhibit. And again, this is information that you can find on county tax records. You just look up the address on the county tax records and then fill this out accordingly. Then the client would complete this form here, and then you are good to go. So when you're complete with everything, as always, you will click the sign symbol here. You'll check all the documents that need to be included. Of course, you're going to need to upload the GMLS printout and the FMLS printout. And again, all you got to do is just go on those respective MLS websites, search for the address, find the address in the MLS, and then download the information on the property and attach it to this bundle here, along with any additional brochures that you need to attach. Again, the primary documents you're going to need for a lease listing agreement is going to be Form 122 and Form 807. And then you'll click the sign symbol here. Again, selecting all the documents that you need to attach. Of course, these are error messages because we did not complete this. You'll do that on your own, but I'm just showing you how to access the forms so that you can complete it and get it off to your client. So you won't see those error messages, and you'll see your information as the real estate agent, but you'll also see your client's information as far as how to send it to them. And you'll just literally click the option that says send to sign to them. Their information will be below here, and then you will be good to go. All right. So the last forms that you'll need if you're representing the buyer side of a lease is going to be very straightforward. You'll go to the Remind website, and then you'll click create transactions. You'll go lease, you'll go buying side. Next step, just put buyer lease as a transaction name. You'll put in the address. If you have an address, if you don't have an address, of course, because you're representing the buyer or the renter in this side of things, then you'll put their information on here if it's relevant. So it would be here as the tenant in that case. So instead of Jane Doe, it's John Doe. So you plug all that in here, click continue. And then as the buy side, you're going to need to indicate form F134. Form F134, exclusive tenant brokerage agreement. You're going to also need to include leasing commission confirmation. So that's F934. That's there. Again, this is if you are representing the tenant in this side of things. We're just doing both in this particular video for time's sake. And then you'll also plug in the lease agreement. So that form is F913. Plug that in. And then if it's a property, again, that was built before 1978, you'll include lead-based paint exhibit, which is form F918. You'll also need to indicate, you'll need to print out the property information from the GAMLS website and the FMLS website. Again, this is specific to Atlanta, but if you're in a city in Georgia that only has one MLS, then in that case, you'll just print it from that one MLS website. But for Atlanta and surrounding area agents, we have to go on both MLS websites and print out the property information. If there is a referral, if you were referred, from another agent, then you'll want to throw that form in there. And if for whatever reason it's terminated, you'll want to throw in that termination form as well. So your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor, my job is to, again, equip you to be in the most powerful position if you are a solo agent and you need help in a pinch. So if this video helped you, please, 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 for my folks that are dealing with rental clients, just know that if you get real good in this area, you'll be great when you have that $1 million property that you are getting ready to list. So stay tuned to the channel. Enjoy content like this. Subscribe to the channel for more. If you are not getting this level of attention and this level of detail as a real estate agent with your current broker, and you are interested in having a conversation, allowing me to have the honor of being your sponsor here, this is what I do. If I'm doing this for free on social media and YouTube, imagine the level of intention that I give to the agents that I personally sponsor. I don't want anyone getting out of this business if they can help it, because they don't feel like anyone is looking out for them in their best interest. It allows me to offer tons and tons of support and help you get to the finish line and become the best agent possible. All right, till the next video, I'll see you. Have a great day.